All right, and we are starting off our third match of the day on Clash of Blackcliff. Clash of Blackcliff being set in some of the industrial sections of the game. We have a very wide, almost circular map here around the sides with a mountain dividing the center with some light and hardcover, sorry, of clouds and structures that dominate the northern and southern sides of the map. Starting off, you want to go for the red team?
Sure. First off, it is the Gizmo Duck, piloted by Sputnik. It is a Artemis Hades, junker with a Carronade Banshee right side. And second off, we got the Abyss, piloted by Nietzsche's Mustache. It is a junker with left side Banshee, Artemis, and a mine launcher left side, and Artemis Hades right side.
All right, now for the blue team, we have the Skyborn once again making an appearance. It is a cheese mob, as we call it. It has a Mercury on the top, Flak and Artemis on its starboard side, and Hades Gat on its ports. Ship number 4 and final is the Skyborn. Oh, God darn it, Skyborner. It is this Killfish with Gatling, Banshee, and Gatling in the back. Darn it, they did Skyborner again. Now I'm going to trip up my words every time.
Well, I guess we'll have to call them the Blue Mob and the Blue Squid.
Also, I love how they changed all their player names. We have Sunstorm, Sunstrom, Sunform, Sandstrom. It's just kind of funny. Just hold tab and let people see that. That's pretty good.
And one thing I'm not so sure about this squid, though, is they're using a Lesmok ammo in the net. Which, really, most of the time for squid, you want to get it up as close as possible to reduce their arcs. And once you're that close, greased ammo is just so good. It has a max range of 360 meters, and buffed greased ammo can one-clip buffed galleon armor while being repaired with them out. It's extremely powerful, and, yeah, I think... But we'll also see how they use this buff Lesmok ammo.
Well, from what I can tell from their last engagement in the last match we just had, the Skyborner likes to act like a bit of a distraction, which might be the reason for the Lesmok. They can kind of sit at range and just pepper them a little bit. Let the other team know they're there. Keep their focus onto the Skyborner, while maybe that Mavia gets a flanking route or a chance. Because if I know how the Skyborns play, they like to do split-ups. They like to do flanks, and they know how to close that distance easily that way. Right now, it looks like red team going to hold back in their spawn very far. Actually, they're not moving anywhere. Blue team has moved up to the middle, though the Skyborn has held back to their spawn squid, scouting in the center of the map what would be point A on a capture points. Oh boy, looks like we're going to have a, what I like to call sit-and-wait match. We'll be back in like 20 minutes, everybody. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, the red team has quite a bit of cover right here. I wonder if they can even see the Skyborner from this range.
You know what? You can kind of see it looking from the other ship. You can kind of see it. I don't even know if that's in spot distance. That's what, like 4,000, 5,000 meters. Some people don't even have a draw distance that far in the game. Yeah, but you definitely bring out a good point here that they are in some very good hardcover here, as well as also some very good view of the distances. They have a chance to spot these ships before they even get a Mercury in range, for Mercury being one of the longest range weapons in the game. Yep, it is the old sit-and-wait strategy here. The Skyborner and the Skyborn pulling back to their spawn. That's, the chat is saying, let's play hide-and-seek, and they say, are we going to do coin toss? Coin toss being if both ships end up running out the timer and not finding each other. Looks like red team pretty adamant in the fact they're going to stay in that corner. They know squids love to pop up underneath and get the chance to get in close and take a flank. They're taking a corner. They are not going to let that happen. Skyborn having a bit of a hard time finding how to press that attack.
Yeah, Yeah, red team does have a good... Because their position, they want to keep away from this Mobula, the Merc and Artemis fire from the Mobula, and then just isolate the Squid, do what they can for that on them. They want to engage the Mobula at close range.
That's they do. They also took two Junkers, usually very good builds to take against Squids. They have that high rotation, not a lot of blind spots, and some very good armor that keep it alive. 15 minutes left on the clock, and neither ship has even spotted one another. Oh, riveting gameplay right here.
One thing to note is that the Junkers have they both have Hades double Artemis builds, but one of them has it on the left side, the other side is the other one got it on the right side. The left side is more standard, but this does give them, it allows them to kind of keep arcs of fire in two different directions, mutually supporting. Junkers are so tanky that they can take a lot of damage and work together and help each other out on one target, while the other guy is just taking damage from the Mobula, for example. The Squid's moving around in the back. They got spots on the red team. Oh, watch this blue mob.
So the counts. Drums are going out as the Skyborn moves in now. The Skyborn also going to move up to the center of the map, getting a little bit of Mercury fire in there. And red team going to hold this position here. Take these Junkers, tank the damage, and just sit nice and safe in this little pocket. And right now it looks like the Skyborn are going up against a Hades Art on the Gizmo Duck, taking a little bit of damage, but nothing significant to the armor just yet. Skyborn are going to lend in a little bit of its own fire support here onto the Gizmo Duck. Skyborn are just trying to dodge shots in here as Gizmo Duck and Abyss train on it with Hades fire, but that Squid is moving around and difficult to keep in shot.
Gizmo Duck taking some fire and backing down. And this fire from the Hades, the Merc, and Artemis from the blue mob can really hurt these Junkers.
Oh yeah, with some very good shooting, these Junkers can take very high damage. Now they do have a very low perma health, but high armor. That armor comes down from that Merc Hades combination. The Abyss or Gizmo Duck are going to be in some serious trouble. Looks like now the Squid is going to take the opportunity to move in out of arc of the Gizmo Duck and move it on the Abyss. Lesmok, Gatling, doing a little bit of pepper and not too much damage at the moment. The Skyborn is now forced to engage on the Gizmo Duck. The Abyss and Gizmo Duck trying to back down and just hold their position. Having lost the match, my one loss yesterday was when a team kind of just sat in the corner and didn't really want to do anything. This is the part that, as a pilot, would drive me insane. It's just like, I don't know how to attack them. I have to front assault.
I don't think this is even the best place for red team to be sitting at, because there's still a lot of places that the blue Mobula can engage them. I'd go low and even off more to the east. There's plenty of other places, but there's not much to... There's just that one big rock for the Junkers to avoid fire from. They can only avoid fire really from the forward direction on the Skyborn. But Skyborn take a little bit of damage backing out. Oh, Gizmo Duck. I missed that armor break. Looks like the Squid's really screwing them up.
That was right. Skyborn and Skyborner's combination fire managed to get an armor break on the Gizmo Duck and taken out exactly 50% of that health in the blink of an eye. Gizmo Duck getting his armor back up and ducking behind the rock. But that being said, first blood has been drawn here by the blue team. Red team definitely take a very defensive position, but if Skyborn and Skyborner can punch a hole in this defenses, get some more damage onto one of the ships, they can have a serious advantage over another kill, bring the match maybe to a 2-0, and possibly go for a meat grind. Have they already are sitting in the red team spawn, just picking them off as they respawn.
Squid's buff toll is actually keeping its armor alive in these engagements.
Yep. I am very surprised the Skyborner, despite taking such significant damage as a Squid, those engineers have managed to keep that hull up like absolute pros. I've been watching them for a little bit. There have been moments that hull has dropped to maybe just a splinter, where if I think the pilot sneezed, the whole ship would have taken damage. And 10 minutes remaining, no kills as of yet. The Gizmo Duck right now at 50% of its health. The Skyborner and Skyborn pressing that attack. Got an armor break there, but no explosives to finish up the damage. Maybe 2% damage went in due to Gatling fire. And looks like the Gizmo Duck and the Abyss are now pulling back a little bit more. They've been pushed away from the rock by the little Squid, who's been pushing itself in closer and closer. Gizmo Duck forced to back itself up and keep itself in cover, but now about to get pressed into some open air. BlackenedPies, you may have just said exactly what might be going on here. They don't have a lot of hard cover. They just have that one rock. If Skyborner can push them off of that one rock, that just leaves these ships open for just devastating long-range fire from the Skyborn.
Squid taking a little bit of damage. Their hull is... oh, they still got most of their buffs up. Everything's buffed except the hull.
Yep, Gatling going out right now as the Skyborn now loses another armor break down to maybe 45% of its maximum health. Gizmo Duck and the Abyss pressing that attack, trying to get a little bit of damage in there as the blue team Mobula now pushes up on the other side of the rock. They have pushed red off of this hardcover and are beginning to take this rocky spire for their own cover for blue team. Definitely a great offensive push here, but they are being outgunned at the moment now that the Skyborner is out of combat for just a short little bit out of arc and had taken some recent damage.
Yeah, we see the power of this, the double focus fire from two Junkers against this Mobula. Really, that's the only way that they can fight this Mobula, is two of them shooting at once, because this Mobula will out-damage either of these Junkers by itself. Except for some good Artemis hits on their guns, I wouldn't be too comfortable fighting this Mobula in a Junker at long range. You can fight it up close. You gotta burn it, use your balloon to take some of the damage. But use the Skyborner moving in on the Gizmo Duck a little bit.
That looks to be the case. Now, what we have here is an interesting dynamic. Red team, having planned to just sit and play defensive, took two very heavily damaging ships, not a lot of maneuverability. Blue team is almost forced to take something with higher maneuverability like the Squid, but lower damage, simply because they needed to be able to push the red team out of their little spawn here. So in an open air battle, blue team is outgunned. They're very out-damaged. They have total of 6 guns against a total of 5 on the other. Also much higher damage DPS weapons and range on the red team. Right now, Skyborner using the chance to get in close, getting Gatling and Banshee into the Gizmo Duck.
This could be a kill.
Coming shortly.
Skyborn does have a life flak ready. Sunstrom is manning that life flak. Oh, life hits. Oh, it was only one, but I saw some significant damage. Although Junkers, as Barrett used to always say, Junkers are always almost dead. Because of their high hull, you don't have to worry about a little bit of damage that much. Because if your armor breaks, you can lose your whole hull in one armor break.
That is definitely the case right now. Skyborn and Skyborner have pushed around opposite sides of the rock, completely exposing red team, now bringing them into a situation where this is just all who has the higher DPS, who can hit the marks. Skyborner and the Skyborn moving around now. Skyborner being a great distraction as the Mobula on blue moves around for the Gizmo Duck, trying to get that one kill, because Lord knows they're running out of time.
Armor break on the Abyss. No life flak to follow it up.
Yep, looks like the light flex went a little bit wide there. The Abyss was in between Cloud and the soft cover there. Definitely not the most ideal shooting situations for the Skyborn. Still 0-0, 5 minutes, 20 seconds left to go on the map. We are only down to 25% of our time, and not a single scratch has been made in terms of score.
Skyborn are being a bit aggressive right here. They lost 2 of their engines, which are back up. But they probably have to duck back out.
Yep, that is the case. Skyborn are trying to push Abyss and Gizmoduck into an unfavorable situation, but this is exactly why Red stuck themselves in the corner. That squid is now completely ineffective. A little bit of a camping strategy here, yeah, but it completely makes so the squid has to take significant damage in order to get close. Not a lot of chances to flank, get around, get those corners, get to those blind spots. So definitely a good hard counter strategy.
I don't feel that the kill squids are particularly effective against Shunkers. You see the squid is now got on the bad side of the Shunker right here, on the close range side of the Gizmoduck.
Oh, and armor goes down on the Gizmoduck, down to 2% of its final health. Gizmoduck just on a splinter of its armor as Skyborn now pulls back. Gizmoduck, if someone trips on that ship, the whole ship is going to fall off the bottom.
Oh,
and there it goes, first kill in favor of Skyborn.
Bit of help from this from the Mobula, and this the squid picked up the kill.
Looks like blue team now gonna switch strategies here and pull back. Red team having camped this entire game, not having left a square of A8 this entire match. Blue team is gonna pull back, having the kill advantage and a time advantage here too. Probably sitting about 4 minutes remaining. They're gonna get out of here and use time to their advantage and force Red to attack.
Gizmoduck respawned. But they're still pulling. Blue team is still pulling back. I think they could. They could even afford to engage with the Mobula. They might actually want to get this the Mobula's guns up. But they're turning completely around. Looks like they're gonna maybe burn their engines out of here.
The downside of blue team right now, red team right now, is that the fact they have Junkers. Junkers are the slowest ship. In fact, one of the faster to accelerate, but the slowest ships. Skyborn and especially the Squid can just quickly outrun them, get behind hard cover. Cloud's moving into the favor of the Skyborn's position right now. You can see all NGs are just tanking those engines right now. Artemis Fire coming out for the Gizmoduck and the Abyss to try and get those engines down and catch up. But it looks like the Skyborn team is going to be able to try and escape here. Would you look at that? Even the Skyborner is behind the Skyborn, giving light little bumps and taps, and also covering their engines with their own. Looks like the Artemis Fire from the Junkers is ineffective as blue team moves around the corner out of shot of the Artemis Fire and now accelerating forward as Skyborn continues to push the slower Mobula forward. A genius runaway strategy. I like it. 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Skyborn has managed to get a kill and run away. I like this, the Squid pushing the Mobula along. Also running a little friendly fire. So they are spotted. Red team pushing through the middle, but the Skyborn are continuing to push the Skyborn. 2 minutes remaining as both teams just run right now. I feel like I can put this to a soundtrack and laugh. Blue team still with the first kill advantage. That if one ship manages to die right now, they still end up having the tiebreaker for the win. Skyborn are taking significant damage from this Hades Fire right now, but the Hades light cannon is now broken by Artemis Fire from the Skyborn.
Gizmoduck is getting in a bit of trouble with the Skyborn shooting them. Armor is a bit too low for comfort. But Abyss is getting some good armor hits on the Skyborn, breaking their Hades, their Merc, and their Artemis.
And with less than a minute remaining, Skyborner is going to attempt to push right through Red Team's lines and just get out of here, put a little bit of damage onto the Abyss, and just dodge and tank all shots possible.
Now they are on the mine side of this Abyss. We'll see if we can get a Lockyer mine out. There we go. Oh, not quite.
Just wide. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. If red team needs to make 2 kills on blue in order to finish this game. We have seen cheap strategy against cheap strategy in this match. It's kind of funny, actually. At 10 seconds, sub 10 seconds range, Skyborner and the Mobula just pressing their last little bit of a kill. They are time up, and victory goes to the Skyborn with 1 kill to 0. And that will do it here. Was that our last match?
That was.
That will do it here for us here on, I almost said the Iron Fork of Friday, this Sunday Community Skirmish in Week 87. Victory to the Skyborn in this final match.